Alright, so check this out. Ref feed. Alright, so here we go. Hot topic is the Initiative 300. So the Initiative 300 is basically what can be considered a repeal of the Anti-Human Act, also known as the Urban Camping Ban. Yeah. I call it the Anti-Human Act because for me it's human just to sit down on a sidewalk. But the law states I'm a criminal if I do that, and I can be fined up to $1,000 or imprisoned for up to a year. And I think that's bullshit. And so, yeah, I don't know what else to say about that, but this is this. Alright. The SM300, right, to survive. And it's just little other things that, you know, I leave our corporate enforcement to pick and choose who you want to hunt down with certain laws and what you want to do with them and take advantage of those people with those laws. And I believe that the Anti-Human Act, also known as the ban, facilitates not just the hunting of people and the discrimination of people. It facilitates anti-humanity and by the discrimination hunting of people, shown by the discrimination and hunting of people. So, you know, me personally, I'll be honest, I've been incarcerated. What I was incarcerated for is irrelevant. It's proven by the fact that the Supreme Court vacated the conviction and actually upheld vacation. The conviction was vacated by the Circuit Court, 10th Circuit, and the government appealed that to the Supreme Court with a certiorari petition, a cert petition, and the Supreme Court upheld my vacation of the vacating of my case. So that all happened after I served all my time, and when I was released from federal prison to here in Denver, I was homeless. My first night here, I slept under an awning over here. Let's see if we see that building. That building right there, the black one, over there. On the other side, there's an awning that I slept under. And the security came out in the morning and told me, asked me to leave. I was like, sure, just please don't call the cops. And security was like, oh, we keep calling them, but they're not coming. They tell us to tell you to leave. And I'm like, oh, wow, dude, look at the humanity in that, you know? But anyways, the next couple nights, I slept in a homeless shelter. And then I got into a hotel room, a Roach motel room. And that was provided by the feds in my supervised release. Then I got into a parolee house for 1 month, provided by the feds. I got out as soon as I can. That was psycho and set up for failure. And during this whole time, I filmed, right? And I sat down once. I was at one of these feedings here, and I got surrounded by cops within 30 seconds. It was about 18 of them. So it was a complete setup, you know? And as soon as I sat down, I was surrounded. So for me, I don't understand. And they're like, oh, you're a criminal. And I'm like, how am I a criminal? I'm somebody's child, and I'm just sitting down. All right? Think about how, like, a child who is just too tired to walk, and you're not going to carry that child in safely, and you don't have a stroller, that child is going to sit down. It just does not have the physical strength to walk, you know? And that doesn't mean that that child should be assaulted, arrested, held hostage, imprisoned for up to a year, or fined for up to $1,000. That's all wrong. So, and it's what can happen if you get caught violating the Anti-Human Act, also known as the Urban Camping Ban. You could be fined up to $1,000, and you can be imprisoned and held hostage for up to a year. So, with that said, I believe that should be repealed. I know this may sound odd. We can have laws, but we don't have to have punishment, you know, and such a punishment to such a degree of, hey, look at this. We can, it's not even law when you have discretionary, what would that be called? Discrimination, you know, to say that this law, that this criminal act, this act is a crime and therefore is punishable for this much time. But to say that, okay, you can get 5 years for this, or you can get life, how is that justice? You know, people, they just don't understand because they're so full of hate, because they're being oppressed by the government, because we're basically slaves, we're economic slaves, and most people just accept it because they don't understand and they don't realize it. And the reasons that we have certain laws like this is because there's so many of us who have been slaved out and no longer have anything. We can no longer afford to be a functioning slave. So now we're considered like a dysfunctioning addict. We're no longer a functioning addict. You know how there's a functioning addict who can pay the rent and they can still go to work and they can do all their normal stuff, but they're still an addict. They're a functioning addict. So all these people here were basically slaves, or economic slaves, to banks and elite overlords who care nothing for us, and the lower echelons of this oppressionary force, which is basically the government and the street government, known as the local government and the police and the city council and stuff like that. They think they're higher up and unstoppable. But they also know at the same time they have what they call a status quo, or whatever it is, that they know there is other people out there better than them and that can do more worse and evil to them because they have more function of the law. And, you know, a lot of those people do work for the federal government, and you can see the corruption in the federal government that we've seen, you know, all the way from the past to the present. I mean, who was it? Was it Benedict Arnold, who was considered a traitor? I don't know if I have that right. All the way to Robert Hansen, who I ratted out personally. He was head of the FBI hunting Russian spies, and he was a Russian spy, you know. And then you look at James Jesus Andleton, you know, he was a spy master of the American military and the American Spy Association, and he was a Sasha. And I'm actually getting off the point, because that corruption is more of a personal and religious conviction, you know, that they're actually thinking they're saving humanity, and sometimes they fucking did, you know, but that's their job, you know. You got to play both sides of the field, because both sides of the field have a government that is corrupt and is just trying to control money, because money is power, money is food, and ultimately food is power. And that's why dictators will always destroy or control the food source whenever they gain power, so that way the people can only be reliant on them for their food. And so, yeah,
what it did about Bayer, now you got Big Pharma.
Yeah, Big Pharma and Monsanto. And so all that has a trickle-down effect all the way down to these little initiatives that are huge impact, because they allow the perpetuation of the targeting and hunting of people by discretionary means, just by saying, hey, you're poor, or you present yourself poor, or you're just a normal person, but we have these anti-human laws that don't allow you to be a human person, such as sitting down when you're tired, you know, resting, which all life requires, you know. I wonder if the sun rests, right? Most people don't know, but scientists say that it takes light 18 million or 3 million years, over 1 million years, right, to escape the sun's gravity. So that means my reflection off the sun in broad sunlight is like over 1 million years old. But that's just scientifically speaking, because the scientists say it takes that long for the light generated by the sun to escape the sun's gravity. All right? Does the sun get to rest? You know, and if not, am I considered sun if I'm not allowed to rest? Am I considered this omnipotent being that brings forth warmth, so therefore I'm not allowed to rest? Well, how can you even question me if I'm not allowed to rest, right? If I am your son and I am this being that brings forth warmth, why are you even questioning me? Plain and simple, right? Anyways, yeah, that's religious or personal views, you know. And a lot of people don't understand that some of these things are considered religious, like going out and feeding people. People go out and feed people in a park saying, hey, I'm doing this for Jesus, I'm doing this for faith, you know. But these laws negate that, so you can no longer do that. All right, and then some people will say, hey, I'm not doing this for my faith. I'm just doing this as a personal conviction of something I believe in my heart, that I am as a person in reality. And well, now these laws say I can't do that, so I no longer be a part of myself, let myself grow and develop as a person due to this anti-human act known as the urban camping ban. And that also, you know, I've been there as a child with my street on in the gutter, sitting on the curb, and just drawing chalk. But somehow, I'm not allowed to do that, and children aren't allowed to do that. We just have more and more laws that say we can't do these things. But at a certain time, if certain children did do this with rich parents, it would be seen as a great display of fun, you know? Beautiful. But if it's done by a poor child and a poor parent, we'll have people hunt them down, and Child Protection Services will traffic away their children. And that's just the common norm. And people are like, oh, we'll just accept that. I'm like, no, we should never accept that. We should never accept treason in any fashion, shape, or form. You know? And nor should we accept any little law that can facilitate treason. Think about how many people who work for law enforcement, like the cops who raped and murdered John Benny Ramsey, they target children from newborn to 4-year-olds to 40-year-olds, you know? And they say, oh, look, that person jaywalked. Oh, that person sat down. They sat down. They're a criminal. I'm not allowed to rape and murder this person. And these cops don't realize they're committing crimes, and the traitors committing treason. Rape and pedophilia is treason. So the majority of cops are all traitors, because they're all rapists and pedophiles. This is America. And in America, you normally are not allowed to be a cop or a part of government or law enforcement unless you take part in the rape and murder of children, no matter what their age is. I grew up in Montrose, Colorado. I've killed thousands of cops. I used to drown cops and look at their children. I used to go in their homes on Thanksgiving and kill them. I never committed murder. I commit just full honor killings in the name of Christ, because I am a true Christian. I kill pedophiles. I kill rapists. I kill government. And I grew up in a town where you weren't allowed to be a cop, city council, anything. You weren't allowed to be any part of the government, a medic, EMT, a fire truck person, unless you raped and murdered children. So I started a militia of just and honorable patriots that got rid of traitors. We went and executed and hunted them. And yes, all of them were, you know, some of them, you might call it a uniform. I call it an over-exaggerated McDonald's outfit. You know, they're just niggers wearing white skin, you know, paychecks free. They're servants claiming authority. They're Satan. And they claim law that they violate, which proves they're demons and they're Satan and they're filth. And they just don't realize it. All they do is hunt people and harm children. And they hate America. They hate the Constitution. They hate Jesus. They hate Christianity. But they claim us and they wear our regalia and try to present themselves as us. And then they think that we should respect them because they're our servants. complete insanity here. I don't know what to say. And so then it just trickle-down effect everywhere to all these different laws that say, hey, look, here's someone's innocent child who's tired, they're sitting down. Oh, here's this fag parasite that's eating off someone else's paycheck like a nigger, some demon cop, thinking that it's allowed to commit crime because the fag parasite ate its brain, and demonocracy is everywhere. And so we have to deal with these demons who look like humans, who are eating off our paychecks like niggers breathe, and now somehow they infiltrated white skin, they have a gun, they have a badge, and they're just hunting our children. And then if you go out and kill them and be a just and honorable patriot and a true Christian, you're called a criminal or a terrorist. It's complete insanity here, you know, and I don't know what to do, and I don't know what to say. You know, I'll be honest, I tried going to North Korea, that didn't work out. I tried going to Africa, Asia, that didn't work out. So I'm a hostage. You know, Trump tried nuking this city on Thanksgiving 2000, what was that? 17, you know, and it was in February, beginning of March 2017. People like John Elway and Dana White, they were terrorists and were complicit in attempted genocide of 120 million people. That they would have just gassed the Caribbean, and all the people in Florida would have died, you know. And like so many people think that's nothing, and think of me as nothing, and I'm crazy because I have enough honesty to say, yeah, I put life in danger, and I crawled on my fucking albums after I killed fucking sandals who were in white skin. They're fucking terrorists, you know. So just because I go through the ghetto dark alley killing people doesn't make me a bad person, and sometimes it doesn't make me a good person. I did do a good thing, and there are a lot of people out there who are considered good people who were a part of that, and they're bad people. And you know, one of them is Mayor Hancock. He's on video with that red-headed dude I killed in Cuba. Red-headed, I can't remember his name, but he's hanging out the Roosevelt, the front porch, and the gas lamp. President Trump doesn't want me going there. I heard that in Cuba. And then you know, that redhead dude, I killed him. I was drinking my bottle of rum on me too, and I just drank some of that last night, first time, and this morning, almost threw up. Well, pretty shitty hungover. But anyways, my pyro rum, that's what I call it. I finally cracked it open after like fucking 2 years. So, yeah, you know, that dude I killed, international law enforcement has him on camera with Hancock, Mayor Mike Hancock of Denver, saying that they're going to get Kenneth me, you know. And they also have him on camera with, oh god, I remember Frank Bonanno even told me his name once. Frank Bonanno's fucking, what do you call it, holiday party. I got invited to that after I got fired, and Frank was like, yeah, dude's going to get you. And I was like, is that the redhead dude? He's like, yeah. I said his name a couple times, I can't remember it. But anyways, he's dead, right? And you think, look about it. You have the mayor, Frank Bonanno, John Elway, Dana White, and they're all like on camera with all these dudes that I killed in Cuba. One of them, like, I smashed his head in with a rock when I was on my elbows, and I laughed when I got the rock. And then when I crawled away my elbows, it's like winning, right? And I think the military got that on camera. Anyways, I mean, look how shitty this place is, you know? Because we have all these fucked up laws, and we're like, well, we need law, we need order. And I was like, well, we need everyone to get a fucking gun, all right? I mean, honestly, we need to enforce the law. We can't say, oh, this judge eating off our paycheck like a nigger to breathe, so we should allow to rape our children and disobey our law because it's committing crime. Well, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know what the fuck to do besides give me a fucking gun and I'll handle that, dude. I don't give a fuck. Dude, I am a fucking intelligence officer, and I don't give a fuck. I will obey the law, and I enforce the law, and if a motherfucker got a problem with that, they are a terrorist, a traitor, and an insurrectionist. Anyways, I'm going to have to cut this off. I'm real fucking thirsty and dehydrated and slightly hungover. And yeah, we'll get another update, alright? Just let me upload this and we'll get another one. Deliani Cinciella.